Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to display lock screen widgets for iOS in React Native's new architecture. So this is only iOS specific tutorial for React Native. So let's get started. So I'll give you a gist. What basically I will do is I will display one label. That label for our app will display a user count which is stored inside user defaults. Now if you don't know what user defaults, it is kind of like async storage which helps us to store key value data. I'm using the now why I'm not using async storage, because user defaults are accessible both from React Native side by writing native code, as well as the entire widget code which we will be writing will be Swift UI and native iOS. We can't really write that inside React Native, so I wanted something which is accessible from both sides. Now I'm not sure whether async storage uses user defaults behind the scenes or not. That's why I'm not really using it. But instead of user defaults, you can use whatever you feel like Swift data, core data, fetch the API from network call as well. But just for simplicity's sake, I'm using user defaults. So yeah, let's get started. Once you click on the button, every time you click on the button, the count is incremented and it is stored inside user default. So our label is also updated, and we will show that particular count inside lock screen widget. Now lock screen widget does not have interactivity and the UI is also very minimum, so don't get your expectations too high. But I will show you both lock screen and unlock screen widget so that you can make the right choice for your own app. Now firstly you will have to open this documentation. I am using React Native 76, so you will have to use that and above, because the new architecture is enabled by default in React Native 76 and above. Now firstly I have created this project using the React Native community CLI tool. Change this particular name to whatever you feel like, and you don't have to give this particular version, because whatever is the latest version, it will pick that particular version. So yeah, just create a project. I have already created a project and I have already written some code as well. So also the other advantage is this particular documentation also uses user defaults. So yeah, that's the advantage. I don't have to explain you in much detail as well. So first we have to, I won't go in the documentation as such, but I'll just tell you the important steps. First we have to create a specs folder inside our React Native project. So I have created that. Then we have to create this TypeScript file. Now I have just copied this TypeScript file which you see over here. I'm not using these two methods. I'm only using the set item and get item, and here you can see I'm not really passing the value because we are only incrementing the value every time the button is clicked, so it doesn't really make any sense. And here I have this return type as well, so whenever you set an item or get an item, I have added this return types as well. Rest everything is copied from the documentation which you see over here. Then we have to run this particular command, configure codegen to run. So just copy this particular thing, and if you go to your package.json, here you can see I have just pasted it over here. Once you do that, you will have to go to your project and then just run npm install, because you have changed the package.json file. So I'll just run it again once more. Then we have to come to iOS. For iOS you will have to cd to the iOS directory. So I think I have already done this, so I'll just check it once more. cd to your iOS directory and then just run bundle install. So this will do lot of like CocoaPod installation for us. So yeah, this might take little bit of time, so don't worry too much about it. And once that is done, you will have to run this particular command as well. Again, I have already ran this particular command. Okay, so I will just again run it just for the sake of it. But once that is done, here you can see that we'll have to write our app.tsx. So I have kept things pretty simple inside app.tsx. Oh okay, here I'm getting some error. Bundle exec pod install. Okay, let me just try pod installation first. Maybe the pod installation itself did not work. I'll come back to this later on. But if you see my app.tsx, we are first importing our native local storage, and here I have created one state just to get and set the value which is present inside user defaults. So once inside use effect, I'm just getting the value and setting it inside over here. Same for our button as well. So on press of it, we just set the value whatever is present, and we are incrementing that particular count on native iOS side. So don't worry too much about it. This key is very important. Same key we will have to use it on native iOS side as well as inside inside our widget code, and whatever value we get, we just assign it to this and we display it inside our text element. Okay, okay, the pod installation is still happening. Let me just wait for the pod installation to finish, and then I'll come back. My pod installation was done, and now I have started running this particular command, bundle exec pod install, and it has also completed. Then what you will have to do is you will just have to double click on this rnapp.exe workspace to open it inside Xcode. Then what the document so I have shown you guys this, right? Okay, then what the documentation says is so here also they are opening the exe workspace inside Xcode. Then we'll have to create a new group called native local storage inside Xcode. So let me just wait for Xcode to open up, because this again takes a little bit of time on my machine. Okay, so here it has opened. So here you can see I have already created this group called native local storage. You will have to create something like this. Then you will have to just right click on it, select new file from template, and you will have to select this Cocoa Touch class. So here you can see they have selected, and give it a name called RC native local storage with Objective-C as the language. And once you do that, you will see two files been created, one's header file and one Objective-C file, but you will have to change the extension of Objective-C to .mm, so it is Objective-C++. Then for header file code, here you can see I have just copied it from the documentation, so this is the code for it. Then for Objective-C++, here we are importing our header file. Now again, this particular name is very important. So if you have little bit of knowledge of native iOS, typically you will see that whenever you want to use user defaults, you will use user defaults.standard.set or .get. We can't use user defaults.standard because we want to reuse this user default instance on widget side as well. So that's why we have to use something called suit name for user defaults. So here that's what I have given inside this. Even the documentation over here suggests the same thing, so thankfully I don't have to explain it to you much. So yeah, this what name typically I give is group dot whatever is your bundle identifier. So just go to your project, and here you can see that this is my bundle identifier, right? You can change it to whatever you feel like, and just paste it over here, group dot whatever is your bundle identifier. This entire code I have just copied it from the documentation, so here you can see this is all the code for it. Again, I'm not really have added this remove and clear, because that's now not what I added inside our TypeScript file. Rest everything I've just copied it from documentation. I have just changed the get item, I'm returning this value, so the definition has changed a little, and for set item also the method name and signature has changed a little, as well as the implementation. So basically whenever you call set item, we get the value inside our user defaults. Whatever is the value, we increment it by 1 and again save it to user defaults, and then return it back to React Native side. So that's it for the main app side logic. Now coming back to our widget, so for that I will just open my practice project, because I don't remember all the code by myself. So I'll just open this. I will explain it to you, but yeah, let me open few of the files which I need. Okay, so I'll just open these two files. Okay, so the next thing which we have to do is you again go to Xcode, just click on file at the very top, new, then you will have to select target. Then here inside iOS you will have to write widget. Inside widget extension, just click on next. Here you can give whatever name you feel like. I will just name it as rnapp widget, and uncheck this include live activity as well as include control, and then just click on finish. Once you click on finish, you can just click on this activate button as well. Once you have clicked on this activate button, here you can see that we have this rnapp widget, right? So I'll just dismiss this. Now here this is the entry point, this simple entry. Now what we are storing inside user defaults, like what we want to display inside our widget, I want to display the count which is present inside user defaults. So I will add a variable for that over here. So this will vary according to your use case, what exactly you are trying to do. So I want to display a count. Now I will get an error because here it will also require count. So I'll just add a quick fix. Now here, from where we will get the count? From user default. So for that I will create one useful method later on. So for now I'm just calling this get value. Okay, and here again I will just add this fix, and here also I will return get value. Now for this it requires an array of simple entry, so I only have one entry. I will just add something like this simple, and here I'll just copy this simple entry. Okay, and I'll paste it here. For date I can just enter today's date. Okay, and for when should it refresh, let me just quickly check my sample code which I had written. So here I am refreshing it after this many seconds. I'm not really sure what this time is. I think it is 1 hour, I guess. But yeah, you can just check what exactly time is. Don't keep it as 1 minute or 2 minutes. It won't refresh it for you. And here we also need to append this count, right? So I'll just copy this and I will add it over here. Then we have to write this get value method. So for that again I'll just go to my project, and I'll just practice project, and I'll just copy it. So here you can see I'm just pasting it over here. Now this basically we are getting our user default. Whatever is the value stored inside it, we are returning it back. If no value, then we return 0. Now we have to change this suite name, right? So what suite name we were using? It was group.com.rnapp2. So I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it over here. And what was the key? It was my key, right? So if you forgot your key, it is inside app.tsx. So if you see, this is our key. So I'll just copy this again and I'll paste it over here. So this is done. Now the next thing which I will do is here, if you scroll down here, you will get an error. So I'll just comment this preview out. This is only for preview purpose, so not really necessary. Select your project. Inside target, select your app, click on plus capability, and here you will have to select app group, and here you will just have to click on so firstly I'll just dismiss this, close this, sorry, and here you will have to click on this plus button, and here again paste your bundle identifier. So my bundle identifier is com.rnapp2. I'll just click on OK over here. Okay, then again I'll go back to my extension, and here I will again click on this plus button, and here again I'll click on app group. And now you don't have to click on this plus button because it will automatically show whatever containers you have added. Just wait for a few seconds and it is. So here you can see it is showing it for me. I will just search for group.com.rnapp2. So this is the one. So I'll just add it over here. So I'll just check it and it has added it. This is necessary because we want to share that user defaults, otherwise you won't get that. Okay, now now we'll have to change this particular UI. So for that I'll just firstly I'll just create this increment intent file. I will tell you later on why we are creating this. This is not really necessary for lock screen widget, but yeah, I just wanted to show it to you. So I'll just create new empty file and I will just name it as increment intent. I will just copy all this code and then I'll explain it to you later on. I'll paste it over here, and again we'll have to change the bundle identifier to group.com.rnapp2, and my key was I'll just open it over here. This was my key, right? So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Next, if I go to rnapp widget, so here now we'll have to come over here, right? So I'll have to write that particular code. So for that let me just scroll down. First we have to add this supported families, because we need to tell the WidgetKit that what all widgets we want to display. Now this accessory inline, circular as well as rectangular which you see, these are for lock screen widget. The system medium, large, small and system extra large are for unlock screen widget. Okay, so we'll have to implement all these switch cases inside this particular body. So again, for that I'll just copy the code and then I'll explain it to you guys what exactly I'm doing. So I'll just copy everything, and here is our struct. I'll paste it over here. So firstly we get this widget family as an environment variable from this particular thing. this was already present, this entry thing, previously as well. So here inside our body we just use this switch case. So I'll just properly indent it. Here we use the switch case. So here is the widget family. So if it is accessory circular, I'm displaying a gauge. Now you might be tempted to use like something kind of a list or an image. Don't use something like that, your UI will get cut off. You will have to be extremely careful while displaying lock screen widget. That's why I'm using this gauge, and inside that I'm displaying this text, whatever count is present inside user defaults. Now I was trying to display this count over here as well inside value. I have hard coded this value, but it wasn't really working for me. I'm not really sure if this is a simulator bug or if I am doing something wrong. But what I was doing, I was passing this entry count over here, dividing it by 10 and displaying it as a float, but it wasn't really working for me. That's why I've hard coded this value. Similarly for access rectangular as well, I'm doing the same thing, but it will be displayed in a slightly different way. And similarly for accessory inline as well, this accessory inline is not getting displayed. I don't know why. Maybe because I directly use this particular text. Maybe we have to again use gauge. You can try that. Now this is for unlock screen widget. So here you can see I'm just displaying this value. I'm not really displaying this time. So if you want, you can remove this. And here is our button. Now you can't directly assign one button click listener over here. You have to use this increment intent. That's why I have used it over here, and it needs to extend from AppIntent. And once you click on the button, this particular method gets called automatically because we are overriding this from AppIntent, and it will automatically increment the user count. Okay, similarly, I'll come over here. Similarly, system large is also the same UI, system small is also the same UI, system extra large is same, and default is also same. So I think that should be it. Also here, make sure you check this back to your original app. Let me try to do a command B to check if there are any errors. So if there are any errors, I will come back to you. Hopefully there should not be any errors. If there are no errors, then I'll directly show you guys the output. Okay, so as you can see, there are no issues and my app built successfully. Now I will just click on the save button. You can name it whatever you feel like. But here you can see we are incrementing the count. Now the count is 9. What I can do is I can just long press on this app, click long press, click edit, add widget. Then you just have to search for your app name. So I will just search for my app name, RN app. Okay, and I'll just select it. Now this is for unlock screen widget. Okay, so don't get confused. Here you can see there are multiple different ways to display a widget. I'll just select this one. Doesn't really matter. I'll click on done, and I click on increment here as well. So the value is incrementing. If I go to my RN app, I will have to reload because I'm just calling this inside use effect. So if I just reload my app, command R, here you can see the value is now level. Now what I'll do is I'll just so if you see over here, there is this button which is on the right hand side, which allows us to lock our screen. So I have locked my screen. Now you will have to press command I if you are on simulator like me. I'm not sure what is the shortcut for a real device, but here if I press command and long press on your mouse, left click mouse. Okay, you're getting what I'm trying to say. Then you can just click on customize, click on lock screen, and here you can see it is telling us to add a widget. So I'll click on this add widget. Again, choose our app. So here is my app. I'll just click on RN app. Now it will not display all the widgets. Here you can see it is only displaying this one as well as this one. Here you can see it is also displaying the count which we have. So I'll just select this one as well as this one. So this is how a lock screen widget looks like. That's all I know. If there is a better way, do let me know. I'll just lock it again. So here you can see these are our lock screen widgets. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.